one. And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending time with us. Thanks for everybody supporting the program, supporting the real estate company, all of our expert contributors, consumerqb.com. We've got attorney Frank Miranda back in studio with us. We got a great content lineup for you here. We're going to talk about a $14 million beach park mansion that's embroiled in a legal battle. Also, you have D.R. Horton lawsuit we touched on last week. We'll kind of get perspective from our real estate attorney, expert contributor on that. Also, the top 5 countries investing in Florida real estate. We're going to touch base on that here coming up on the show as well. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty, always featuring our real estate listings live on air. It's part of a strategy that helps our sellers sell faster for more money with less headaches, maximizing the exposure and the profit. We got a marina for sale here. This is the Weeki Wachee Marina, 7154 Shoreline Boulevard. This is a $3.7 million listing from the Platinum MVP team. You got 3/4 acre lot, well-established business with irreplaceable real estate on the Weeki Wachee River. You've got water frontage on 3 sides. Now, multiple income streams here as well. You've got living space upstairs that could be utilized as a rental, Airbnb potentially, or maybe an on-site live-in manager. You have multiple income streams from John boat rentals, kayak, paddleboard rentals, dock spaces as well, private vessel storage, and authorized Suzuki servicer. So you can bring your boats in there, get them serviced as well. Great opportunity here to buy a marina. Have you ever wanted to invest in commercial real estate? Well, here's your opportunity. We've got motivated sellers at 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee, Florida. And you can even go say hello to the mermaids up there, right? That's where the mermaids are, I hear. All right, we also have a bar for sale. Let's stick on the commercial theme here. We got a couple commercial listings, vacant land listings, residential, of course, about 50 current listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. So we have the Finish Line Saloon also for sale. This is in Plant City. This one is out in Plant City on US 92, Highway 92. It's 5402 West US Highway 92, Plant City. Now, what you have here is, of course, a turnkey bar. So you've got the bar, all the fixtures that you would see in there, ice machines, flat screens, ATM on site, jukebox. 2 pool tables there as well. Now, one of the most valuable things here when you're buying and selling a bar to consider is the license, the liquor license. So this has the 4COP license where you can not only just sell, of course, the liquor drinks, you can sell the package, but you can also take that and utilize that. Let's say you wanted to open up a tent or sell liquor at Gasparilla, for example, festivals, things like that. It's mobile. So as long as you're in the same county, you can take that with you. So that's a great opportunity. Again, a couple of great investment opportunities. 5402 West US Highway 92, Plant City, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. You can see all of our listings online at Platinum MVP team. TV show expert contributors at consumerqb.com.
She ain't prejudice, he's just made in America.
All right, attorney Frank Miranda back in studio with us. Welcome in, sir.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. So there's a lot of stories we could get to. We've got D.R. Horton lawsuit to touch base on, this $14 million beach park mansion for sale. Interesting headlines on this one in the Tampa Bay Times. He spent $14 million on one of Tampa's most expensive homes. Now he's suing the buyer of 5224 West Neptune, Way says the previous over. And a lot of times when you have these lawsuits, and I skimmed that article a few days back, but it was essentially about permitting and things, improvements to the property that one side is claiming that weren't properly completed. And then the other side saying, oh, well, we disclosed it. Maybe, I'm not sure the details on that case. But generally speaking, a lot of times that's the case with real estate, right? You're a real estate litigator. Is that what you find?
Yeah. From what I understand, the facts in this case have to do with what was reported as square footage, living square feet.
Right.
And so from what I understand, and again, this is from the newspaper article, is I guess there's square footage that was enclosed and that was being used, but it wasn't necessarily enclosed with the proper permitting. And the argument is, well, that shouldn't have counted toward the square footage because I really can't use it the way you set it up. And if I can't use it the way I set it up, why am I paying the square footage price on areas I can't use for living?
Right.
That's the gist of the argument. I can understand the argument. You're required as a seller in residential property to disclose all known potential defects. The argument is someone should have told me that this space that you put together was not lawfully put together, and why am I paying a square footage price for that space when it wasn't lawfully put together?
Yep.
And I can't use it the way you showed it to me.
Yeah. And it's a lot about the FEMA flood guidelines, too. I think it's about the elevation on a lot of properties that we find. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. The agent that's involved is the number one agent in Tampa Bay. She does over $1 billion in sales from what I've seen. Also, let's keep going because we got a lot to get to. A lot to get to. Homeowners sue D.R. Horton over deceptive home sales and financing scheme. Now, a lot of time home builders will have a built-in mortgage company, a built-in title company, things of that nature. And so this was a recent case. It's turned into, I believe it's a class action lawsuit. The nation's largest home builder and its mortgage subsidiary, DHI Mortgage Company, to recover losses. So anyways, many of the home buyers, here's a couple just takeaways. Many buyers didn't learn their payments would be hundreds of dollars higher each month until after they had closed on their homes. And then the lawsuit claims that the home builder and its mortgage company were working together from their initial sales pitch to deceive buyers into closing on homes and mortgages, presenting artificially low mortgage payments to lead to payment shock. Now, one family in this, one plaintiff says, his name's Frankie Santiago, says that he was promised a monthly payment of $21.64 for a home in Lake County, Florida, based on the DHI mortgage. But less than a year after closing, Santiago's new servicer, conducted an escrow analysis that included all of the property taxes as well as the amounts that he now had to cover for back taxes due to nearly $1,000 to $3,136. So $2,164 the original payment, $3,136 the new payment. What say you, Frank Miranda?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I can see how that happens now after you read that blurb to me, because what happens is the mortgage company is incentivized to get you approved. The company who's selling you the house is incentivized to get you approved because they want you to buy the property. And so when they show you an artificially low payment, they're not informing the consumer that this is based upon your payment's based upon principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And so they're using the tax guideline as if the property are being taxed without a house on it. Right. Because the tax assessor has not had time to reassess the property once a house is put on it.
Yep.
And so if they're not telling the consumer that, they're not really telling them what the true payment's going to be. Yeah. Because that payment of $2,100 is not going to last very long, because somewhere along the line, the government's going to come back, reassess the property once the certificate of occupancy has been issued. Yeah. And someone can actually live in that property now, in the house. Yep. They go back and reassess it based upon the value of the house. Right. And so, yeah, I can understand how the consumer got screwed in that scenario, because they're not telling them how quickly that's going to occur, number one. And number two, they're artificially pushing that low rate or that low interest payment or tax payment or mortgage payment, I should say, that includes the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, when they know it's going to change quickly. Yeah. And so why don't you just tell them the truth to begin with? But they're not. Yeah. I also tell people that I've litigated issues involving national home builders that have their own, quote, mortgage company, and they do nothing but screw you. And I'll give you the example. The example is you're not qualifying, and so they tell you, we're going to keep trying to get you qualified, do this, this, and this with your credit, and we'll be able to get you qualified. But in the meantime, the financing contingency on the contract expires. So now if you don't qualify and you really can't close, they're going to keep your $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in deposit and go sell it to someone else.
Yep, that initial escrow deposit. Yep.
And so when you deal with a national home buyer, number one, you got to know that the contract you're entering into is completely one-sided. Right. In favor of the home builder. Number two, when you use their mortgage company, they're not going to do anything to protect your interest. What the mortgage company should do, instead of telling you that we can get you qualified, let's wait until the day before closing. We'll get you qualified somehow. If they can't, they're going to keep your money, the home builder, and they're going to sell it to someone else.
Yeah.
What they should do is say your financing contingency, for example, expires tomorrow. We're going to send a letter, if we're really representing you and we're concerned about your interest, to the home builder, which is our parent company or affiliated company, telling them you don't qualify and you can at least get your deposit back.
Yeah, and here's a question based on that. And by the way, if you just joined us, Attorney Frank Miranda in studio with me. I'm your host, Brandon Rimes, local real estate agent here in Tampa Bay. Now, do you, at that point, our broker would recommend giving constructive notice? Something. Hey, just a heads up, tomorrow is the expiration of that financing contingency period, and then lay out the details from there. Is that a practice, or is that a something that should be done or it must be done?
That's a practice that professionals who really know what they're doing should do. That's a best practices situation.
Yep.
Okay, that's why people need qualified people like yourself to be involved.
Yep.
Going back to what we talked about in the first scenario, the $14 million lawsuit, there should have been someone that's representing the buyer and or seller that looked and said, hey, look, this property is being sold at, and I'm making this number up, I don't know the exact numbers, 12,000 square feet. Public record shows this is 8.
Yeah.
So why is there a 4,000 square foot difference here?
Yes.
Someone should have asked the question, at least.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And going back to the previous is the pre-construction issue. So you have raw, unimproved land that's being improved, obviously, by putting on, building a home on it, the improvements, the sewer, all those different things that are added to the property. So that's going to increase the taxes. Now, taxes are paid in arrears. So in other words, November taxes due, that's paying for last year's taxes, not current year.
Correct.
Right. So that's where it happened here. And again, if you're working with the buyer, you're buying a property and you're not having a realtor on your side, you don't have your own home inspector on your side. And I would even say have Attorney Frank Miranda, review your contract as well. Have an attorney review it, or at least a qualified realtor that is actually worth their licensing, because again, it's only a 63-hour course to get a license as a realtor. Now, when you have that situation, you want to make sure that you're getting upfront inspections from your home inspector, because they're also going to say, hey, you can get an inspector, but you don't need to. Our guy just looked at this, our superintendent, and they're doing 100 homes a month or whatever it might be, large volume. And then secondly, we always talk about J. Smith with A. Snoop inspection. Go ahead and get your 11-month inspection done. That way, when that 12-month mark comes up and your warranty is about to be out of or expired, at that point, now you have all your ducks in a row, and you can say, hey, here's the deficiencies that my independent third-party home inspector found. Now let's bring that to, because I know a lot of the other home builders, that's some of the lawsuits that they find too, as far as work that should have been covered under warranty that they're claiming is not covered under warranty. Have you seen that as well?
Yeah, that's massive, because unfortunately what's going on with a lot of the more affordable home builders, and even the big ones, I mean, I've seen it with the big ones, where there's a laundry list of things that aren't right.
Right.
And they don't have the personnel, and if they do have the personnel, it's not quality personnel to go remediate and fix these issues.
Yeah.
And so they're so behind in getting these things fixed. Number one, you're in the back burner because their main focus is selling the next house. They're not making money on you by fixing things they should have fixed initially.
Right.
And so that's an expense to them. So they have no incentive to get the what's the list? What's the list
deferred
called?
maintenance, or list of repairs.
Checklist.
Yep.
They have no incentive
Punch
to get
list,
that check. Yeah, the punch list. They have no incentive to get that punch list fixed quickly, because they're not making money on that. That's costing them money.
Yeah. Yep.
And so they're going to get to you when they get to you. And unfortunately, what I've seen and through my experience is the people that they send to do these punch list items, they're not very good.
Yeah.
And so you got to call back 3, 4, 5 times to get the same thing fixed correctly if they do get to you.
Yep, exactly.
And if they don't get to you, you know what they know? You got to sue them to get it done.
Exactly.
And who wants to go through that expense? You're better off just paying for it and walking away. That's what they're counting on.
It's kind of like corporate skimming. Some of these big corporations, they say, hey, look, what's the chances of Mrs. Smith suing us? And what's the chances of us getting away with whatever their kind of scheme they have? So yeah, we're protecting you as a consumer here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. It's all about you, helping you win in any marketplace, making you more informed as a consumer. Reach out to the show hotline if you want to talk to Attorney Miranda or, of course, anyone on our team, 813-917-1894. You can call or text. That's an off-air number, 813-817. Call or text the show hotline, and you can see all of our information at consumerqb.com. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about the top 5 countries in investing in Florida real estate. Find out about the investments, what's behind the investments, and some of these folks from other countries, especially Latin America, are looking for economic stability. They're seeing a shrinking dollar in their country. They're seeing gang violence, all these different things happening in other countries. Who's investing in Florida and why? Coming up here, more with attorney Frank Miranda on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleaning, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Submit the email at consumerqb.com or call 813-917-1894. consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, the official Pinellas County restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark. If you're facing an insurance claim, don't just trust the insurance company to have your best interests at heart. This is Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to rightwaypa.com, our friend Derek Coble at rightwaypa.com. Looking to level up your sales game? With 20 plus years of coaching experience spanning across several industries, Lindsay Rimes helps everyone from entry-level reps to seasoned business owners boost sales, improve work-life balance, and retain top talent with customized options catered to personal, group, or corporate settings. Brandon and Lindsay Rimes offer and more. Let's grow your business together. Call 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Submit an email at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, in studio with attorney Frank Miranda, real estate attorney. He's also a litigator, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show here in Tampa Bay. And a couple of hot listings. We'll jump back into it. Also, we're going to touch base on the top countries investing in Florida, the top 5 countries that are investing in Florida. And why they're investing, what's behind it. We're going to talk about that. Also, if we have time, we'll get to this California homelessness issue, the homeless issue, with 2 criminal cases now being referred for developers that allegedly are, misappropriation of funds. Go figure there. All right, a couple of hot listings here. 12948 Twin Bridges Drive, Riverview, Florida. Twin Bridges Drive. Beautiful property. I love this home. It's 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, 3-car garage. You've got 35 square feet, just under a quarter-acre lot, open concept, design, beautiful property. Owner pride shines through on this home. Check out the lovely lanai there if you see all of our photography compliments of Fabre Frameworks. Great opportunity to buy real estate. 12948 Twin Bridges Drive, Riverview, Florida. Beautiful property here in Tampa Bay. Another one of our hot real estate listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. 5466 and 5476 Cyril Drive. This one's in Dade City. You got 209 feet of frontage on the Withlacoochee River. This is 3.7 acres of land, 2 lots available to be bought and build your dream home right on a beautiful riverfront property in Dade City. Great opportunity to buy real estate. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. You can see all of our radio and TV show expert contributors at ConsumerQB.com.
This is God's country.
All right, you got 5 countries that are investing in Florida, Frank. So, as you might guess, a lot of them are from our neighbors to the south. Number 1 is Colombia, and the investment focus, real estate, particularly in Miami. Market share represents about 15% of foreign buyers in Miami. Reasons for investment, proximity, cultural ties, and economic stability. What's your thoughts around that?
Yeah, so that's an old, I wouldn't say trick, that's an old investment concept from some people with wealthy people in South America where they are concerned about keeping several $1 million in their banks. They're concerned about a dictator taking them. They're concerned about their bank's health. And so what they do is they will come here and they will buy a $2 million, $3 million condominium in Miami somewhere. They'll use it part-time and shut it down. And they're using it really to park their money.
Yep.
And so that's why when you go to Miami, you might, I've been to Miami a few times, and you notice, wow, that's a really beautiful residential condominium project, 40, 50 stories high, and you see 2 lamps on.
Yeah.
They're parking their money.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And so number 2 is Mexico. Similar real estate investment, especially in urban areas. 15% of foreign buyers in Miami. Again, favorable climate, cultural connections. Canada. Number 3 on the list. That's about 6.4% of foreign buyers in Florida. And that's, again, strong economic ties, favorable living conditions. 9% of foreign buyers, economic diversification and investment opportunities. And then number 5, Germany. From across the sea there, you're looking at 5.8% of foreign buyers. Reasons for investment, strong economic relations, and business opportunities. So in summary of trends, Florida remains a prime destination for international investors due to its favorable business climate, diverse economy, and appealing lifestyle. The state's real estate market, particularly in cities like Miami, continued to attract buyers from Latin America and beyond, reflecting a growing trend of foreign investment in the region. And, I would also add, some of the strong law and order policies that we have in the state of Florida. You have, several other reasons why, but you also see what I like to see too is this Florida Doge effort. Now we're going out and we're going into some of these counties and we're finding a lot of excessive spending, call it waste, call it fraud, call it abuse in some cases. But essentially there is a push to get a property tax amendment on the ballot, and that could be huge for Florida real estate. Frank, I'll give you the last 45 seconds, sir.
Well, I'll circle back real quick. You're seeing some of that happen in Tampa now too, especially now with the higher-end condominiums that are associated with the big names like Ritz or one of those other, brand names, and that's happening all across Tampa Bay. So I think in Miami, most of it's saturated. You're going to see some of that South American money coming in here.
Yeah.
And so that may or may not artificially inflate some of the prices because the money, there's too many of those buyers coming in that are big. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see. I think a lot of people, like you said, South Florida's congested. It's there's a lot going on down there. It's fun to visit. I wouldn't want to live there. It's just too much. The taxes are much higher. So yes, a lot of people are looking at Florida or Tampa Bay, Palm Harbor, Clearwater, Bradenton, Sarasota, all the great areas that we have here in the area.
A lot of talk about today, and there's a lot more to talk about in the future. Again, I want to thank you for having me on my show once again.
Yeah, man.
If people want to reach out to me, they certainly can. They can call the office at 813-254-2637.
And Frank at FCMlaw.com. Frank at FCMlaw.com. Coming up, Dr. Scott Anderson on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Quick break, right back. Also, $8.5 billion rare earth deal with Australia has been signed. Good stuff coming up. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rimes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
Thank you so much for supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show. We greatly appreciate everybody. We've got several deals in the pipeline now from folks that are selling their properties with us. We got buyers working with our buying side team. And, of course, refinancing is a great time to look at a refinance since rates have dropped, and there may be opportunities there as well. Also, 80 different categories of consumer advocates. We've got Dr. Scott Anderson in studio with us as well. Another great example of one of our expert contributors. Share the Love Charities and Addiction Recovery Care of Tampa. We're going to talk about the mental health crisis in America, relationships, the importance of fathers leading the homes as well here on the show. Also, we also have some interesting stuff. Burmese pythons in the Everglades. We got protecting Florida's native wildlife. Brief conversation around that. Also, Trump signs an $8.5 billion rare earth deal with Australia. That's further solidifying the America First agenda, making us stronger, keeping us trying to decouple from China, I guess is the best way to say that. Coming up on the program. So more with Dr. Scott coming up here. Consumer Quarterback Show online at consumerqb.com. Your #1 consumer advocate, always helping you win. And when it comes to the real estate side, we feature our real estate listings live on air. It's part of a strategy that helps us sell faster for more money with less headaches. 9914 Ala Vista Drive, Gibsonton, Florida. Beautiful $1 million listing, waterfront property here, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1922 square feet, elevated stilt home at the end of a quiet street on a large waterfront lot. Now, this is nestled on a canal on the Alafaya River with direct access to the Gulf. Ground level offers covered parking. You've got a private boat dock, 12,000-pound boat lift, 1,000-pound jet ski lift, fully solar powered with updated panels. You also have an inverter there. You have a 50-year galvanized standing seam metal roof, hurricane shutters, and professional landscaping as well. 9914 Ala Vista Drive, Gibsonton, Florida. Another one of our real estate listings from the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. 1905 Horseshoe Drive, Plant City. Hillsborough County, beautiful property here. Owner pride shines through on this one as well. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 2,300 square feet living, and you're on a quarter-acre lot, just under a quarter-acre lot, Walden Lake, the paddocks with tree-lined streets, scenic lakes, and tranquil atmosphere. You know, I love this interior of the property. You got the lighter colors there. Beautiful pool. Got a cage over the pool there, bird cage. Shout out to Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. You've got your pool and spa package there. Beautiful property at 1905 Horseshoe Drive, Plant City, Florida. And you can see all of our listings, Platinum MVP Team. .kw.com, all of our real estate and radio and TV show expert contributors at consumerqb.com.
Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and
All right, big shout out to Lee's Royal Services, longtime friend of the show. Lee's Royal Services for all your interior cleaning. Lee's Royal Services. He does a great job cleaning our residential and commercial properties. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. On the interior, on the exterior, talk to our friend Ramin over at Heights Soft Wash, taking clean to new heights. If you want some pressure washing done, HeightsSoftWash.com, HeightsSoftWash.com. Make sure you let him know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take him up on those special offers and incentives as well. All right, Dr. Scott Anderson back in studio with us. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, man. What are we going to talk about today, my friend?
Well, we're going to be talking about modern-day relationships.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a hot topic. A lot to do about that, that's for sure.
Yeah, modern-day relationships, and, you know, it's think about all the challenges to the modern-day relationship. You look at, you know, you got the social media challenges. You got these sites. What was the old site? Ashley Madison. Yeah, where they're making it easier to cheat on these online sites. I mean, the challenges are there. But there's also some positive as well. We see a Christian revival happening in America. Bible sales are up 42%. App downloads are up almost 80%. Christian music streaming 50%. So I think, with the Charlie Kirk movement, everything, there's a strengthening of the American family, a strengthening of the American church, and I'm glad to see it happen.
Well, it's an attempt at it currently, which is great because we're going to move in the right direction. But I can assure you the modern day relationships, the dating pool is more of a cesspool than a dating pool. And why are these relationships so hard in 2025, And I've collected so much data on this and heard so many people and had so many conversations. So I'll kind of give you the gist. Social media is huge. There's too much choice, first and foremost, and you have digital distractions, and that comes in the way of having, like I said, too much choice, always being on social media. 90% of relationships fail because of loss of trust, poor communication. There's lack of respect, which is similar, difference in priorities, and not enough intimacy, physical intimacy.
And money, too. Money's got to be up there somewhere, right?
And that's priorities.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? When you talk about finances, that's more cohabitation and marriage stuff where that is affected.
Yeah.
And we'll get into the boss babe feminism stuff and monetizing their time for dating. But essentially, those are the reasons why relationships fail. So if you're on your phone, what I mean by digital distractions for females is if she's on that phone 10 hours a day, consumed and living in the matrix of Instagram and TikTok as her modeling debut, it's going to take away from the relationships because it breaks down communication. It takes down trust because she's interacting with 5,000 other guys, and the priorities aren't there, and you're not in real time communicating, talking, and connecting.
Right.
So social media, that's what I mean by why it's so hard, and that's one of the things wrecking it. Shifts in morality. We just talked about that with Charlie Kirk and stuff. There's hypersexualization in females. And again, that could be brought on, like I said, from feminism and other reasons as well, breakdown in the family, fatherless homes, etc. But pretty much what happens is these girls, when they're on the internet dating area or Instagramming and putting their pictures of themselves in lingerie or practically nothing or underwear or bikinis, is they have tens of thousands of guys literally simping, coming after them, telling them how gorgeous and beautiful. And these women could be average. I mean, barely average.
Yep.
And they think they're, spectacular, tens. So there's this exaggeration of self-worth, inflated ego. Really, it's narcissism is what it turns into. Not in the diagnosable sense, but narcissism in general. And there's just a general, again, hypersexualization of their physical being.
Yeah.
And that becomes problematic in and of itself. And I'll tell you why. Because feminism and the boss babe mentality, you hear that all the time. I'm a boss babe. And feminism has literally driven women to be man haters and to think that they can be so individualized and independent that they exclude the interaction with men altogether, and they end up resenting men. So again, that creates this sexual monetization and the value of superficiality. And that's, listen, that's status chasing and what I call the princess delusion. And you may have heard this, I deserve to be treated like a princess. I'm a princess. Everybody's a princess. I don't think they realize what a princess is and what goes into that. They should really look into that. But it's hero worshiping the mentally unstable. And here's what I mean by that. Emotionally toxic people are being hero worshipped. It's on every channel. The Kardashians, Love is Blind, The Bachelorette, Love Island, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And what does that emphasize? these mentally, emotionally unstable, immature, over-sexualized idiots running around making a mockery of what love and relationships are supposed to be. And these females and males get indoctrinated into thinking this is normal. And it's just creating havoc in the ideals.
Especially, too, Dr. Scott Anderson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rimes. And what else you see, too, is, and it's just terrible to see these young girls, walking around a mall or a festival, wherever, with those super short cut-off shorts.
That's the sexualization, hypersexualization.
Exactly.
The way they dress. Listen, I remember back when in the internet, you could find, women's pages, and they were emphasizing their education and dressing in nice business suits. That used to be the super sexy and in nature, camping, fishing. That was a big, flex. Now it's just underwear, bikini, naked photos. That's it. I dare you to find a woman that hasn't sexualized herself. So, everybody says, men sexualize women. No, women have monetized themselves, and that's the consequence of that. And I think that comes from fatherless homes.
Big time.
Huge influence because they don't have anything to look as a model to. How are men supposed to be? What should I look for? How should I be treated? And how do I treat? And that's all necessary to have a father figure. Plus you have moms that are bitter and hateful, man bashing, saying all men are garbage, all men are bad. And so when this little girl grows up hearing that, and of course she's going to monetize herself. And
the feminism movement.
And then the feminism. Like I said, it's a combination of all these things.
Dennis Prager's book, Rational Bible Series, he has an interesting quote. It was from one of the founders of the women's lib movement back in the day, and it's this quote that, once I say it, you'll remember it, but it's something to the effect that, women need men like a fish needs a bicycle or something stupid like that. But let's play this clip here because Charlie Kirk has just a really articulate way of saying these types of things, and the father should be the leader of the household.
Okay, as a father, lead your home. Do your best to be able to earn enough money that your wife does not have to go into the workforce so that she can raise the kids.
So let's pause there too, right? So when you look at the father making enough money to lead the home and to support the household, what's happened over the years, the corporations, the globalists, they've forced that wages down, imported a lot of illegal immigrants into the country to drive wages down. So I think that's, again, the political class.
If she wants to, if she wants to go in the workforce, that's fine. But be the man and try to work the extra shift, work through the night, deliver the income so that your wife can be a mother to the kids. And finally, you are the one that must be the hawk and say no. Dads are there to say no.
Dads are the disciplinarian. I mean, that's a similar theme as well. And if you remember the stats, too, we talked about this on previous shows, where in Hillsborough County, I think it's something like 7,000 students are now homeschooled year over year. So 7,000 more people not going to public schools, being studying at home with their families, their mothers most likely. And then Pinellas County was something like 3,500. I think it was about half of that. But that's another interesting trend.
And that's a trend that's going to continue and get more and more, and I for the better.
Yeah, exactly. And then what's your take on the schools, too? That whole, there's been a lot of studies now with the cell phone limited uses or
I told you that's a no-brainer. I don't think they should be allowed in schools at all. You can have one for emergency. They have them in the office. You know what I mean? So it's not like you don't have access to call somebody. Write down a few emergency numbers or keep them on file in the office. And then they should have their phones there, community phones that they can use. You go to the office, you ask permission, who you call, and so on, and you let them call. If it's an emergency, then the parent can come in and take care of it. But we made it for the last 80 years that there was no issues with phones or technology. So there's no reason for it. And it was far more productive. But when kids are distracted with phones, it is so detrimental to the education and connection and interaction that it just doesn't outweigh it to have an emergency phone call, which is rare if ever.
Let's get them a beeper. How about
exactly.
that? Go back to a beeper.
I mean, you've got phones in the office. If you really need, if there's an emergency, go down there and use the phone.
All right,
that's what we did.
Let's see what else is in this clip.
And as you know, when kids start to become 3, 4, 5 years old, you have to say no a lot. Not that moms can't say no, but they have a different gifting from the Lord. They are more tender, they're more compassionate, they're more long-suffering, whereas we as men must be the issuing and the ordering of masculine discipline. And I will say this, as young men get older, one of the major reasons we have the violence problem in Black America and in inner cities is young men need a masculine figure around so that they can teach them how to use their violent impulses.
That's right. Yeah, you got to have that disciplinarian, Scott.
Yep.
That's
we
the
talked
key.
about that several times here, where there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. It's necessary masculinity because men are geared, like we said, and I love how Charlie says that God has gifted the women. I'm going to have to use that in treatment so that the moms aren't so upset with me.
Sounds good.
When I say that moms have a very, very difficult, I said it a couple weeks ago, that moms have a very difficult time with discipline.
Yeah.
Men don't. We're very concrete, operational in that type of thinking, and it's, we have structure and routine and discipline is in our blood. It's in our DNA.
Yeah.
So children need that, both the little girls and the little boys.
All right, quick break, right back. More with Dr. Scott Anderson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, Trump signs $8.5 billion rare earths deal with Australia. We'll talk about that here coming up on the flip side. Don't go anywhere. Consumer Quarterback Show online at consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Tired of long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation. Aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online. WillSmithAviation.com. That's WillSmithAviation.com. Or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, online at DavidReynoldsJewelryandCoin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net for all of your surveying needs. Land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team. Dr. Scott Anderson in studio with us as well. Coming up, the comments on that rare earth deal, $8.5 billion rare earth deal that Trump signed with Australia. 318 108th Street, West. We got a new listing here, 318 108th Street West. This one's 1,100 square feet, and you are just 2 miles from the sugar sand beaches of Anna Maria Island right here in Bradenton, Florida. 318 108th Street West, Bradenton, Florida. Brand new listing. Stainless steel appliances, just 2 years old. Eat-in kitchen there, beautiful property. Perico Island offers resort-style amenities, newly renovated clubhouse with fitness center, billboard rooms, library, saunas, plus a heated pool, tennis and basketball courts. Check out 318 108th Street West in Bradenton, Florida. Beautiful property from the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. 13229 Interlaken Road, Odessa, Florida. This is a vacant parcel of land. You have over half an acre of land, 0.57 acres. You also have a 24 by 30 foot metal shed storage building that's already on site, perfect for when you're building. You can store your supplies in there. Direct access to Interlaken Road. Odessa, Florida is horse country. Beautiful property, a lot of ranchettes out there. 13229 Interlaken Road, Odessa, Florida. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. You can see all of our radio show expert contributors at ConsumerQB.com. All right, we're talking with Dr. Scott Anderson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, longtime friend of the show. He's got an upcoming charity golf tournament we're going to talk about as well. Plus, just a quick comments on this rare earth deal, Scott. I love the idea. President Trump, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese on Monday signed an agreement, rare earth deal. So this is another step in that decoupling from China that we've talked about so many times that is so important for our national security, America First agenda. So here's a quote from Trump. He says, in about a year from now, we'll have so much critical mineral rare earths, you won't know what to do with them, Trump told reporters at the White House. Your comments?
Yeah, absolutely. China's been trying to do the roundabout, to sneak in and get these rare earth deals with other countries.
Yep.
So Trump was like, listen, that ain't going to happen.
Yep.
He went and went to Venezuela. He went to Argentina. You know what I mean? So he started signing all these deals. We are going to have more.
Yeah.
We already have more rare earth deals going right now than we ever have.
And we got to be able to take the rare earths and,
of course,
process them. That's the key.
Facilitate it into viable goods.
And this was a big article, too, in the Epoch Times, how much farmland is owned by Chinese companies.
Yep.
We talked about this in earlier shows. Check out our YouTube channel for more details on that. But let's go to the charity event as well.
Yeah,
let's make sure we get that in.
Listen, we're having our second annual golf outing. It's November 6th. Which is Thursday, 9 to 4. It's over at Plantation Palms. And I want to give a real good shout out to our two big sponsors. You got Will Smith Aviation, also Will's Way Foundation, who's been an integral part in helping me out and getting that out there. And also Mike Murphy Auto Group with the new Genesis right on the corner of Nebraska and Bears, right by my clinic, actually. Yep. And, they're sponsoring this and helping out quite a bit. So thanks a lot. They do a lot of work in the community with that. And again, that's Will Smith Aviation. Yep. If you have a charter service for planes, private jets, that's the go-to. I can assure you, you'll never have another experience like that.
Yeah,
top notch.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Anywhere in the Southeast.
Yeah, and they've got all kinds
Bahamas.
of wonderful little flights that are very cost-effective comparative. So look it up.
Second annual charity event, November 6th, Thursday, 9 to 4, Plantation Palms. That is Share the Love Charities. Dr. Scott Anderson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
Yep. Well, I wanted to say, listen, with regards to these relationships, men are tired. They're checking out. In 1990, 70% of men were in relationships. 2023, 37%.
Say that again. Sorry.
In 1990, 70% of men were involved in relationships under age 30 and under. Now it's 37%.
Wow.
Men are checking out of relationships. You know what? They're tired. They're just tired. The reward is not worth the cost. Marriage has become a major liability, and it's an incentive for divorce. It's the new woman's retirement plan. It's you know what I mean. It's a pension for them. They get married if they want to leave at their own reasons, and 90% of them do, or 80% do. They've got a lifetime ticket of free everything.
Yeah, men don't need to commit either because they can go on an app, swipe left, swipe right, and
and you hear these women, they got to pay for everything. When a woman monetizes love, They don't want love. They want their bills paid. Okay. So that's a giant red flag.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind, okay? And again, what makes a diamond valuable other than the rarity and beauty of it is its exclusivity to the person who owns it.
Yeah.
So when it comes to women and men, it's exclusivity that makes it valuable.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, man.
Absolutely.
There you go. All right, Dr. Scott Anderson, thanks for coming in. Check him out online. ShareTheLoveCharities.org, arcoftampabay.com. And also we had attorney Frank Miranda on the front end as well. Thanks for supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.